Good afternoon. I'm Riza Diaz. This is One News Now. The Interior Department has reportedly issued show-cause orders against several mayors for getting early access to COVID-19 vaccines. DILG Undersecretary Epimako Dinsing III is joining us live to shed light on this. Yusek, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Riza.
Sir, can you confirm that the DILG has indeed released these show-cause orders?
You're right. Early this morning, I signed the show cause orders to at least 5 mayors, and the show cause orders are on their way to the respective mayors.
Sir, are you at the liberty to name the mayors involved, and where did you get the list? Is this list even vetted already?
Yeah, for public disclosure, we were given reports coming from netizens, the media, and from Malacanang. Supposedly pictures and reports that certain mayors have inoculated themselves of the COVID-19 vaccine ahead of the others. We had this verified with our regional office, and after verifying that they did, we have now a basis for issuing the show cause orders. The 5 mayors include Mayor Alfred Romualdez of Tacloban City, Mayor Dibo Tuan of Tibuli, South Cotabato, Mayor Sulpicio Villalobos of Santo Niño, South Cotabato, Mayor Noel Rosal of Legazpi City, Albay, and Mayor Abraham Iba of Batarasa, Palawan.
Yusek, has any of the concerned mayors responded already to the issue?
None yet. The protocol is they have to respond 3 working days after they receive the show cause orders.
And looking forward, Yusek, what would be the consequences for this?
Well, if proven that they've really violated the national deployment and vaccination plan, we will endorse them to the ombudsman for administrative case, and it will be the ombudsman who will determine whether they should be punished, and will be dependent on the ombudsman what kind of punishment will be given to them.
Undersecretary, were there other non-healthcare workers that have been vaccinated other than the mayors on the said list?
Yes, we've heard in Parañaque that they vaccinated an actor and a city councilor, but we have yet to verify whether or not they were vaccinated or not. So it's in the process of verification.
Right. Sir, how about the case of Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya? Will he be penalized as well?
I wouldn't know, but from what I know, he has already submitted his explanation, and he was in good faith when he got vaccinated. He never knew that there was already an order from Malacanang to limit the vaccination from the government to Secretary Duque, Secretary Vince Dizon, and Secretary Galvez.
Sir, we're getting reports that the said actor from Parañaque that you were mentioning earlier is Mark Anthony Fernandez. Is that confirmed?
Is that right? It's right. And I'm a little pissed off because he's somebody outside of the priority list. And one vaccine that we take away from the frontliners is one vaccine we take away from the health workers who is fighting head-on with COVID-19.
Understood, sir. Sir, I would like to get your reaction also because Mayor Alfred Romualdez said that he did it to raise vaccine confidence among healthcare workers in Tacloban. What do you think?
Well, we've talked about that in detail during the vaccine cluster before the arrival of the vaccines. And we said, I don't think vaccinating the influencers ahead, other than the healthcare workers, is not a good idea. Specifically because many of our vaccines will be coming from the COVAX facility of the World Health Organization, to which the World Health Organization representative clearly said that we have to follow the priority list. Otherwise, if we continue to violate the priority listing for vaccination of the COVAX facility vaccines, which are actually given to us for free, they might reallocate our allocation to some other countries. And at the end of the day, after the more than 700,000 healthcare workers who have been vaccinated so far, they have become the influencers themselves. So there's no need for the local chief executives to get vaccinated just to say that they can influence the others, to vaccinate themselves to create confidence.
Yusek, in general, what can you say about the current vaccination pace? Are COVID hotspots getting equal access?
Right now, there's a priority listing that we're following. And if you're asking me personally, as somebody who's been in a lot of crisis management before, if you are going to ask me personally, I would rather suggest to the NITAG to focus its attention to where the epicenter of the virus is, which is in the National Capital Region. Because if you vaccinate at least the hot spots in the National Capital Region, we now create more or less, quote-unquote, a herd immunity in the National Capital Region, thereby not bringing the virus outside of the epicenter. And that's a personal perspective. I hope the NITAG can also look at it in that perspective, rather than, which is operational, rather than looking at it in the more technical sense, no, rather than operational.
Sir, moving on to another issue, what can you say about the Archbishop of Manila planning to hold Holy Week activities at 10% church capacity?
You know, we've already set the protocols for this 2-week heightened restriction in the National Capital Region in the 4 provinces. I suggest that the good bishop follow the protocols. Otherwise, we are constrained to file cases against him if ever that happens. But I do pray that Bishop Abilio should follow the protocols. And at the end of the day, it's just a 2-week period, and we're praying that after 2 weeks, we're able to curb the current surge in the National Capital Region in the 4 provinces.
Sir, do you have information as to evaluation on the implementation of curfew and NCR in the NCR Plus bubble so far?
Well, in the beginning, there were a lot of violations of the curfew. Now we're looking at the numbers waning. Right now, the curfew has now expanded to the 4 provinces, namely Bulacan, Rizal, Laguna, and Cavite. And we're still getting reports that there's a high incidence of violations of curfew in those 4 provinces. But we do expect that the numbers will go down. As for the bubble, after a birth pains last Monday, everything has now cooled down, and much of the restrictions that we've imposed for this NCR Plus bubble is now being implemented, and people have already adjusted to it.
Sir, how about increased contact tracing efforts? How are we doing?
Well, right now, we're trying to get additional budget for contact tracing. The other one is we're getting personnel from our uniformed services to augment contact tracing in the National Capital Region. But we have already directed the local chief executives of the NCR to slowly build up their contact tracing personnel. However, in the absence thereof, we've already agreed, that the Metro Manila will be put into quadrants, primarily to help each other. So if there's a shortage in isolation or quarantine facilities, the local government units in the quadrant will help each other. If there's a shortage in contact tracing, and one LG would need additional contact tracing because of increase in infections, then the other LGs within that quadrant will help. So we're now putting Metro Manila into quadrants, so that we can the local government units adjacent to each other can help each other when the need arises.
Well, thank you, sir, for your time. That was DILG Undersecretary Epimaco Densing III. Several villages in Parañaque City have been placed under a hard lockdown as more than 100 COVID-19 cases in one barangay remain active. JC Cosico is on the ground to give us more details. JC, exactly where are these areas?
Riza, several villages here in Barangay San Isidro in Parañaque City are currently placed under 3-day hard lockdown amid the rise in COVID-19 cases among residents. Areas include Green Heights Village, Matatlo Homes, Kraus Village, Nersan Compound, and Camellia Homes 3. Barangay San Isidro has 123 active cases, mostly from these villages. Around 3,000 families are affected by the lockdown, which will last until March 26. Only essential workers and authorized persons outside residence or APORs will be allowed to go out. Disinfection, contact tracing, and swab testing of about 300 close contacts will also be conducted. Local officials say lapses following health protocols and social gatherings are among the possible reasons for the spike. Recent daily average cases in Parañaque City have reached 140, a far cry from just 10 last month. To date, Parañaque has over 11,000 confirmed infections, about 8.9% of which are active. Riza, the LG will expand the capacity of its two city-run hospitals amid the rise in COVID-19 cases, and they will also open a new quarantine site to accommodate more patients. Back to you.
Thank you for that update. That was JC Cosico reporting live from Parañaque. Now let's check in on vaccine stories from around the world. The government of Macau has suspended the use of vaccines developed by BioNTech due to defects on the caps of some vials. However, the German company and distributor Fosun Pharma believe there is no product safety risk. India says it will include those aged above 40 in an expanded vaccination drive, assuring its citizens of enough supply. The Indian government is facing criticisms after it didn't reach a target rollout of 60 million doses to date. And the United Kingdom is planning to vaccinate the children against COVID-19 as early as August. Officials are still awaiting the results of a child vaccine study by Oxford University for the shot it developed with AstraZeneca. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.